welcome back. It's cruise day 3, and today we're going to talk about all the different food options which were plentiful on the ship. Before I get to that though, we left La Spezia last night. We were cruising all night and now we're entering the port of Naples. I really like how each TV screen in the room, you could turn it to a channel, it showed you where you were, and it also had different bios on the people who were in charge of food and entertainment on the ship, so that was pretty cool as well. Show you out the window so you can see that where we were passing on the screen is actually where we were passing in the water. Super cool. I also wanted to show you a little bit of the port here. If you think that that mountain looks familiar, yes, that mountain is Vesuvius, Pompeii out in front. We did not get off and do an excursion on this one either because we've already been to Vesuvius and Pompeii and we wanted to enjoy what the ship had to offer. I really liked the port though. You see the castle up there on the left. That was super cool to see. And this is probably one of the easiest places to get off and use public transportation because you can get right off the ship. You don't need a shuttle or anything. So now let's get into the food. First, I'm going to start with the buffet. It was amazing. It probably opened around 6 in the morning and stayed open till midnight. Now, not every single thing you see here was available at every meal, but they had different stations opened up. Of course, at breakfast, there were breakfast items from around the world. You could get a proper English breakfast. You could get a proper American breakfast. Plenty of pastries. You felt like you were in Germany. You get the cold cuts, everything. I think they baked all of the bakery items each day. They were super fresh and all the food was really good, and I felt like it was seasoned very well too, so we really enjoyed our buffet experience. They had chefs, or at least people in chef's hats, at every station, answered questions, cut meat for you, and so many people knew so many different languages. It was very impressive. They had a pasta section, lots to choose from, and each section would have different food, different menu at each meal too. It wasn't often that we repeated the different kinds. They even had a pizza station where they made fresh pizzas for us. Across the way was the dessert station, and next to the pizza station they actually had a mozzarella making station where you could look through the glass and watch them make fresh mozzarella cheese, which was pretty cool. The buffet was open from breakfast early in the morning, and then it didn't really close for very long. They would close off different sections when they were switching out meals and then open right back up again. They were open until about midnight. Closer to midnight they would close down most sections and only have like cold cuts and desserts. And this, you see, they even had kind of an American section, if you will. They had hot dogs and hamburgers and fries for everybody. There was definitely something for everybody to pick from, and my kids really enjoyed the buffet, mostly because we didn't have to be on a timetable and they could pick their own food and they didn't have to wait for it to come. They got kind of bored at the sit-down meals, so we didn't do that as often. We really liked that we had the choice to either go to a fancy sit-down meal, which was included, or that we could go here. They had water, coffee, and tea, and they also had juices and milk at breakfast. And honestly, you can get a drinks package, but we don't really drink soda that much, and we don't drink alcoholic beverages, so it really wasn't worth it for us. But you can add on a drinks package where you can get pretty much anything you want. So we really liked that almost the entire deck was made up of this buffet, so you could look out at the water, and several times we would sit there at dinner or something and watch maybe a boat taking us in to harbor or the lights on shore. So that was really neat to be able to see, and we loved to play games while we were there. So we actually, when we stopped in Barcelona, we got a game that we had wanted to get already. Shout out to our friends the Romanis for getting us hooked on the game Splendor. I think we played that pretty much every day while we would eat, maybe have a few desserts, and that was lots of fun. And we could do it too, as you can see in the background. We were at the port, so we could look out at the beautiful port and water while we played. We also bought an MSC version of Monopoly, which was lots of fun, and now we have a travel Monopoly game that we can bring along on trips as well. Now we'll veer away from the buffet and go to the dining portion. As part of any cruise, you have evening dining that is included in your ticket, and you have a set time when you're supposed to go to the table, and you choose off of a menu. We enjoyed our fancy dining experience a few nights, but the kids got really bored waiting for the food and thinking of all the other things they could be doing. And honestly, they're not really into fancy food, so they preferred choosing from the buffet. But I want to show you some of that fancy food because it was absolutely beautiful, and the kids really got a kick out of the fact that the waiter would come around and brush crumbs off of the table in between courses. There was a set menu, but there was also the option to upgrade. We did not do that, but you could upgrade to different desserts or steaks or things that were just a small upcharge. The service was honestly fast for Italy, and we enjoyed it, but again, the kids were not as into it, so we did the buffet most nights and we were very happy with that. But you have a set time that you go, and we chose the earlier seating, which was I believe 6 p.m. and I think the second seating was 8:30 p.m., which was a really late time period, but again, we were leaving out of Italy. It was an Italian cruise, and I don't know if all cruises have such late seatings, but in Italy it's very common to only eat dinner at 8 o'clock at night, so that was not surprising. This Neapolitan type gelato dessert was amazing, and I just wanted to show you a little bit of the dining room. It was set up really nice. When they had the curtains open, you could look out over the dark waters. They were not open this night, but you can see how expansive the different seating areas are there. And something else fun that they did was they would sing happy birthday to anybody whose birthday it was. So I'm going to show you a little bit of that, their fun rendition of the birthday song. To me, having the buffet and having the restaurant that we went to at night was enough, but there are so many different choices. These are actually looking in on some specialty restaurants that they had available you could make reservations at. Now, it was an out-of-pocket charge, which we did not choose to do, but you could. And I don't know, I think one of them was a specialty steak restaurant. I know this was a sushi restaurant that you could get specialized food at. This was on the promenade. And then right down from the sushi restaurant, there was a London pub restaurant. You could sit there and look down over at the promenade. You could see the special chocolate shop down there. There was a club across, I believe. And we, again, didn't get to go inside, but it looked super neat. I love how they decorated the place. Down below on the promenade was the gelato, which we did enjoy the one night. I mentioned it in one of our previous videos. They know how to do gelato right in Italy for sure, and so we really enjoyed that. Got some as a snack, a special treat the one night. Across from the gelato stand was the chocolate shop. These chocolatiers made amazing sculptures, and I show some of that in the bonus features after the credits, so definitely come back for that. Well, that's all I have for you about the food on board ship. Come on back for cruise day number 4, because even though it's the day at sea, we're going to be talking all about entertainment. There are so many different things that they did to keep us entertained on the ship, and I would like to show that to you. Ciao!